Hello everyone. Now in this video I'm going to explain the overall control of the power station. So before we talk in detail about the overall control of the power station, let me highlight few points which are necessary to understand the background of the overall control. When you talk about the power system network, so if you vary power, okay, the real power generation, then automatically your frequency will get affected. And when you talk about the control of reactive power control controls the voltage magnitude. So these two are the parameters which are going to control the frequency and voltage. So I call them the control variables. So if I control real power generation, then frequency, okay, increases or decreases accordingly, and also reactive power. Always we are supposed to maintain a balance between the power generated and the demand. Okay, so it is always the power engineer's objective to have a zero power difference or an approximately zero power difference. So the difference between power generated and power demand is called as the, okay, so excuse me. So it is called as the imbalance. So imbalance of power. So the imbalance in power will be reflected as the frequency change. So any imbalance in power will result in frequency change. That is, if my generation is high, okay, compared to the demand, then the difference is going to be positive. For a positive change in power, my frequency will increase. Okay, and it's the other way around. So that is the relationship between the real power and frequency and reactive power and voltage. So controlling the real power, we could arrive at real power generation, we could arrive at frequency control. And that is done by the basic control loop which we call as the load frequency control. This is the overall control block diagram which is available in a power station. Before we go to the control of a synchronous generator, we are supposed to understand the basics of the speed governor system, where we have four different parts, which are the speed changer, speed governor, the hydraulic amplifier, and the linkage mechanism. So understand the working of a speed governor before you go to the overall block diagram. And now let me explain the functioning of this overall control. So a turbine drives the generator, and thereby according to the input of the turbine we have the power generated. Depending on the steam that is flown, your turbine rotation is going to vary, and depending on that speed of rotation the power is generated. So in our control mechanism, the turbine speed is sensed using a speed sensor, and that is fed as an input to the speed governor. Speed governor works whenever you find a change in speed. And this speed governor cannot directly control the control valve because the steam has high pressure. So this high pressure steam could be controlled only by the use of hydraulic amplifiers. And apart from that, our frequency of power which is generated is depending on the amount of real power. So real power will decide the variation in frequency, and hence this frequency is sensed and that is given to a signal mixer where it is compared with the standard frequency. So the error in frequency is the area control error, and this is given to the integrator. The integrator's output is the speed changer's input. So depending on the speed changer and also the input from the speed sensor, the steam flow to the turbine could be controlled. And this loops, these two loops, first the loop that I explained is the primary ALFC. ALFC is automatic load frequency control loop. So this is the primary loop, and the outer one involving the speed changer is the secondary ALFC loop. So there are two ALFC loops, the primary and the secondary. Apart from that, we also have the automatic voltage regulator loop. So the automatic voltage regulator loop is one where the exciter is controlled and thereby the voltage magnitude is maintained a constant. So here this is again a control where you sense the power, you sense the voltage through a potential transformer. It is rectified, filtered, converted to DC, and that is fed as an input to the comparator, which is compared across a standard reference, and the voltage error is amplified, and that's going to control the exciter power.